the sea for a getaway. Car top down and we're driving just to feel young. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? Sand in your feet, feel the breeze in the summertime. Stars in the sky, one dime for a first time. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. And we're moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. Get off your seat, clap your hands to the beat, grab your champagne glass tonight. We toast to freedom in the Caribbean, yeah, in the Caribbean, yeah. Dance, 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 smoke, 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 fire it up, let our lanterns paint the night sky red, paint the night sky red, yeah, yeah. We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. We're moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. Can you hear, can you hear, can you hear my voice? Coming through, coming through, coming through the noise. I'm floating through outer space, I'm lost and I can't find a way. Oh, all the lights going dark and my hopes destroyed. Help me, is anybody there? Save me, I'm running out of air. Calling out Mayday. Calling out Mayday. It's so dark out here in space. And it's been so long since I've seen a face. My eyes are shut but I can see.
Welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another day of talking about our favorite thing, East. That's right. Another episode of 30 Days Till PAX East. I'm very excited to do another episode of this. I apologize for not being on yesterday. I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I wasn't feeling all that fantastical, and it was a very busy day. It was a rough day all around. So had to do just the real life stuff, and it just drained me. And I didn't want to rob everybody in here of a really shitty stream. So I figured, you know what? Instead of doing the stream and forcing it, I just wanted it to be natural. So I know I'd come back today to do the stream. So, and as we get closer, the stream's going to get much, much, much bigger, more in depth, and more detailed, and a lot more fun and more engaging, hopefully. So, again, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for everyone for supporting. Just make sure that you guys share as much as you possibly can. That's amazing. If you're not able to watch, sharing is just as good. You never know who might be actually interested in this topic. So, the more that we help each other out, the better we can work as a community to try to make this thing big. So, um, yeah. So, in case you didn't know, my name is Van, Mr. Showtime, aka, and I stream on Twitch as Van Lattimore. I'm on YouTube as Mr. Showtime 23, and I'm also on Kick, and I am also on streaming on Facebook under, I want to say it's just Mr. Showtime. Let me take a look real quick. I want to say, I think it's just under Mr. Show. Yeah, Mr. Showtime. Yep. So, if you're on any of these platforms you're watching, great, thank you. If you like another platform, you guys can easily support me on the other platform instead. Again, it's Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and that's it. I want to say that's it. So, all right, let's get into it, people. So, happy Sunday. Today is April 13th. We're so close. So close, so close, so close. Let's do uh, PAX East 2020, PAX East 2025 countdown. So that way I can tell you exactly how much time it's. 25 days. 25 days left till PAX East. Fantastic. Soon we're going to be doing giveaways. I don't know if I'll start them next week or the week after, but we'll definitely start them soon. So you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. I don't know what I'll give away. Maybe some sweet swag. We love some swag. Maybe some Mr. Showtime t-shirts or something. So we'll come up with something. If you guys have any suggestions, throw it out there. Also, again, if there's anything that you guys want me to specifically go over or anything that you would like to know, make sure you comment in the comment section or the chat to let me know so that way I can take a look and see. I also am interacting with the chat, so feel free to post what you like in the chat and I will respond. So, all right, so let's get started. So we're going to go over the schedule for Friday, May 9th. This one is a little bit different. You'll see a lot of tournaments, but you're gonna see a lot more panels and stuff around too. And this day is probably just a little bit more packed and busy than what we did for Thursday. So let's take a look. So at 10 a.m. there's not a whole lot going on. The typical tabletop stuff. So you have Altered TCG. So each you had to learn how to play Altered, the trading card game. Paint and take. So you'll make little figures. You'll paint little figurines, kind of like uh 40K Warhammer figures, D&D figures, pretty much any kind of figures that you would very much use in a board game. That's what they go over and show you how to do that, and you get to keep them. So pretty cool. Classic and modern and indie RPGs. So just looks like it's just an area for RPG games, which they do on Thursday. I'm gonna fucking butcher this. Guyana RPG Sunset. So it's a special one, and they have another one that's Titan's Keep. They also have Star Wars Unlimited TCG pods, Premier Starter Sale Draft. Again, Star Wars Unlimited, the training card game. Um, it's a tournament for that, or not tournament. It's a bunch of different things. So they have tournaments, they have drafts, they have starters, and you get to meet new people. That's always the best part of these events is the people that you meet. You don't go specifically just to play the event. You actually go to learn and meet more people that are actually love the same things you do. So you get to grow that friends list a little bit. Cooperative puzzle room experience. So it's a bunch of people in a room. You guys try to figure out the puzzle together. You guys work together and self-explanatory. Magic the Gathering, free jump start. So it's Magic the Gathering, and it teaches you how to play the fundamentals of Magic the Gathering. Pretty nifty. Okay, 10:30. Pokemon trading card game, Flesh and Blood trading card game, Blood on the Clock Tower, Trouble Brewing. That is a board game, a tabletop game. Cheese Thief, tabletop, D&D, D&D. A lot of D&D stuff. Game Boy Color Developer Meetup. Let's take a look at that. That seems pretty cool. Learn more about what it is like to develop for the Game Boy Color in 2025. So apparently there's still people that still develop games for that. So that's pretty interesting that they do that. So they talk about that and go over how it is to make games for that still. So that sounds like it's pretty cool. Board game testing, Pathfinder board game, Starfinder board games, The Everlasting Game board game, King of Tokyo, and Terraforming Mars. Terraform. Yep, tabletop. Yep. So more. Um, again, 11 o'clock. Alta TCG, training card game. TCG, in case you didn't catch on, stands for trading card game. So anything that says TCG, that stands for trading card game. So board tabletop game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Blue Shells. I don't know what that is. I know it's a tournament, but I don't know why blue shells are in parentheses. Pardon my ignorance on that one. So, Dead by Daylight 9th anniversary special. So, anniversary celebration. Dead by Daylight will be celebrating its 9th anniversary at PAX East 2025. Join the team for the exciting celebrations and updates as another year of DBD is about to begin. So that one's going to be from 11 to 12 in the Albatross Theater. Pretty good size theater. Not super big, but pretty good size. I would imagine if you're a big fan of Dead by Daylight, you definitely want to be there for that. So that sounds like a good one. Games on demand. Open. Okay. This is the place to play indie top games. Games on demand. All right. So the indie top games is just Dead by Daylight games on demand. Uh, Pretty much that's just for a bunch of indie games. For you to be able to play, kind of like the open room where you can just rent a bunch of games and play. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, just a tournament, console tourney. Ready Teacher One, planning for educators and parents using video games. It's a workshop. The panel is a workshop, and there may be required interaction with panelists or other attendees. Please be prepared to be involved. Yeah, so pretty much what this is it teaches you things about games for K through 12. So it's like family gaming. So it teaches you as a teacher or as a parent or any kind of educator how you can incorporate video games into a child's life for learning. So pretty cool. Shirley Regional Middle School. So Amy Doyle is going to be there on the panel. So pretty cool stuff right there. That's always a good time when you learn how to do things like that, and you never know. Sometimes just opening the door is a little bit tough for people to kind of get into. As far as like their mind, like if you're like me, you have ADHD and ADD. Sometimes it's hard to get everything together, and a million thoughts are coming at you, and you have all these brilliant ideas, and you can't put them together. Something like this will give you those guidelines to pretty much get started. So if you're looking to try to figure out the best way to incorporate incorporate video games into your education, there you go. That's a good place to start. So, welcome to Magic. Again, Magic Academy, self-explanatory, all Magic games, just teaching you how to play. Gaming is for everyone, accessibility, and TTRPGs. So typically a panel like this, they're talking about how we can, how developers develop games for those who are handicapped accessible. So some people might have, you know, um, functionality issues, ALS, they might not have full functionality of their hands. So a lot of gamers try to keep everyone in mind. So a panel like this is awesome because you get to see, what it's like to be in the mind of a developer when they're trying to develop these games. So sometimes that stuff can be very interesting. So that's a really good one to check out, especially if you're into trying to make video games way more diverse for everybody. So pretty cool. Dominion is a tabletop game, so we're gonna go into 11:30. Final Fantasy, the trading card game, Blood on Clock Tower, Star Wars, are all tabletop games. Canton, tabletop game, and Patchwork, tabletop game. PTI Game Library presents Tournament Arc with Little Creatures. So let's take a read into this one. Draft, train, and compete as you build your own sports anime with friends. Ooh, okay. Tournament Arc is an easy to learn and quick to play party game for 2 to 6 players with over 40 lovable characters and endless combinations of cards to play. A different story will unfold each time. Meet the creators and play the game before release. Live on Kickstarter during PAX 2025. So it looks like they're gonna be doing something live on Kickstarter at this time. So that's pretty nifty. Um, Body horror, death, loss of loved one. Drug game is delayed. All right, so they're saying, the age, it's all ages appropriate, but kind of giving you a content warning that there's body horror, death, loss of loved ones, drug, alcohol use, stuff like that. So some parents don't want their kids around that stuff. Okay, noontime, things start to ramp up a little bit. More training card game stuff. Autograph session with Damien has. Damien has. Let's see here. Damien has. Let's look that name up, see what they're involved with. I'm awful with names, so this could be somebody that I really know. Okay, Devil May Cry. Um, involved with Devil May Cry. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he just went to Devil May Cry. So he's a voice actor. For a bunch of different things apparently. There's a lot of little stuff. Delicious and Dungeon. So I guess he was a voice actor. It seems like it might have been a main character. I'm not into that show, so I'm not too familiar with it. So, one of the characters from that show. All right. So that's cool. That one's at 12. Let's see. 12 to 3, so this ended for a while, so that's cool. Blood on the Clock Tower, again, board game. Time Splitters 2 is a video game. Seeing ourselves before understanding ourselves. Trans joy in the game world. Video games are more than an entertainment, they are. Through customizable characters, they let us craft stories, explore identities, and even discover parts of ourselves we didn't know existed. For many of us, these games have been a lifeline, helping us embrace our trans identity and live out narrative with once only dreamed of. Transness has already existed, and video games have played a key role in helping us celebrate it. Join the Boston Gamers at PAX as we share how gaming helped us find joy, community, in ourselves. Together, let's explore the power of inclusion, storytelling, and ensure future generations see themselves reflected in games they love. Don't. So pretty cool. That group called Boston Gamers. They're the ones that are going to be hosting that. So that's awesome that they're getting together as a community and putting that together. So fantastic. Magic the Gathering, more card games. Marvel Rivals cosplay meetup. So there's a cosplay meetup at 12 to 1. in the community room, and it's for all the rivals of Ether. I'm sorry, Ether, Marvel Rivals universe. So that's pretty cool because I got a feeling that's gonna be you're gonna see a lot of Marvel Rivals cosplay this year just because how much that game actually blew up. So that will be a good time. Check the chat. All right, what else we got here? What do we got? That's over here. Sorry, just trying to make sure I stay active in here. All right. Use that. Yeet. Good sir. Yeet. Good sir. All right. All right. All right. The Iggy, I love it. I get to see the old Dave. I love it. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for joining, Kyle. If you're home and you want to hop on stream real quick with us, and you want to bless the audio presence, you're more than welcome to. Just let me know. I'll throw you onto Discord, and you can join the audio. If not, you want to stay in the chat, that's fine. Stay in the chat, my good man. We're still gonna plan a day together, so we'll figure that out. But just let me know if you want to join. You're more than welcome to join the audio. I'm not going to be on for super long. I'm going to talk about this and then kind of move on. But if you like to hop on, introduce yourself, and it's up to you, bro. So just let me know. All right, keeping going. All right, so 12 o'clock, the last event that we got here is this triathlon tabletop round. Play PAX Triathlon launches at PAX East 2025, a competitive event featuring 3 radically different games across the 3 PAX departments. Tabletop, PC tourney, console tourney. And they have different times for those tourneys, so be aware of what's going on with that. Be at each specific location for each round to have a chance to win the gold. Sounds like fun. The tournaments are always a good time. It gets a little crazy and hectic, but in general, it's a good time. It's always a good time. Okay. Well, awesome, my good friend. I'm glad that you're able to get some Metroid Prime in, and thank you for listening while you're jamming on some Metroid Prime. So feel free to add any commentary you like, my friend. So, all right, keeping it moving, 12:30. D&D Learn to Play. If you've never played D&D and you have even just a little hint of interest in it, I always suggest trying to hop into one of these. This is a great opportunity to be a part of something like that. So that's what I would highly suggest. It's always a good time. I've played there a few times with quick one shots, and it's so much fun. It's really a good time. This is gonna be the 4th year that I've got to play in it. So I'm excited to see where we go with it. So I have a certain group that I get together with to play it, and I'm excited to see them again this year for PAX. So we're gonna do that damn thing. So the next event at 12:30 is Charisma Check, keys to successful networking in the gaming industry. So if you're looking to get into the gaming industry at all, this is a really good panel to get into because they're going to tell you people to talk to, things to see, places you want to go, stuff like that. So this is really cool, and everyone gives their own perspective. These are some of the people that are going to be on the panel, and then kind of where their universe comes from. So that's pretty cool. Everyone wants to be good at networking. It's a necessary skill. Blah 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 blah. Pretty much just goes over what I just said. So, Everdale. Pretty sure it's tabletop game. All right, 1 o'clock. More Blood on the Clock Tower. One Night Ultimate Werewolf. So, if you've never played Werewolf, it's a pretty fun game. It's hard to explain. So pretty much you got a group of people and one of the people is a werewolf and they're hiding in between and you don't know who it is and you got to try to figure out who the werewolf is before the werewolf kills everybody. So um fun stuff, fun stuff. PAX Triathlon PC round. So 1 o'clock's the PC round. Puzzle Bubble Live, which is just Puzzle Bubble, a video game that you have a tournament for. Star Wars Unlimited, more. So as you can see, if you haven't caught on, the trading card games, they have several different sessions throughout the whole entire day. So it's always a good time. That way you can, if you have panels in the morning, you can go in the evening. If you have panels in the evening, you can bang them out in the morning. So it tries to give everybody an opportunity to be able to take full advantage of it, which is great because they didn't have as many as they do these past 5 years, maybe a little bit more. Um, I'm always down for a triathlon. I'm always down for that. Um, I think I don't know what I would do though. It would depend. I don't know. I don't know if it's a random game or if they have specific games. They don't have a game list, so board game would be interesting. I think I would be interested in doing the board game ones only because it's so random and so fun. Like video games, I'd be a little bit more like personal about it. I'd be a little upset if I lost. I'd be like, oh dang. Even if it's a game that I've never played, I'd be like, fuck, I wish I knew how to play that game. But I think board games, it would just be like, I'm looking to just play a random board game. So and I get to learn some new board games that I could be into. So I'd be interested in definitely doing that. How do I feel about Tekken 8 being the almost pro game again this year? Um, I'm not mad at it. I just wish they did more almost pro games. Tekken 8 right now is like kind of the hot game. The Street Fighter community don't seem to be super supporting Street Fighter right now, which is weird because I haven't heard anything really bad about Street Fighter, so I'm not too sure where that's coming from, but I feel like there's not much of a tournament scene as it was for Street Fighter 5. I think Street Fighter, 4 it was the peak of Street Fighter, and then Street Fighter 5 you start to slowly see it dwindle, and I feel like 6 didn't help it recover. So I'd be interested, Tekken 8 seems to just be everyone loves it. Now, Kyle, that's an unfair question for me because I'm a Tekken fan, but to be fair, I'm also a diverse fighting game fan. I love all fighting games. So I do feel that it's unfair to give Tekken 8 the light again. But at the same time, if that game is what's drawing the crowd, it's hard to force a game like, we already know the deal. We're not going to get a Smash at that level again because Nintendo is so aggressive with stopping people from doing it at that high level without involving them, and even we all know they don't want to be involved in them, so it's just not going to happen. So I find that interesting, but I would have loved to see another game. Like I would have loved to see them bring Mario Kart back. I think Mario Kart was like flooded because I feel Mario Kart you will get more people that don't want to compete professionally that's being involved with it. So you're seeing less of the metas. And of course, once you get to the top 8, like you experienced, you're gonna play the people that know the metas, they know the tracks, they know everything about the game. But I think doing Tekken, you're more bound to run into a pro than you are an amateur, and that's a little frustrating and discouraging. And that's why I'm kind of like, I would like to see another game take that spotlight, but I understand it, and especially if they're trying to make that area filled with energy, because that's really what this is about. Like that's the reason why they do that spotlight is to give energy to support, because that's what thrives PAX East is that fan energy, the people getting excited about things. And that's why a lot of people that you talk to at these booths, some of them don't even know anything about video games. They're just hired to be there to hype people up. So very interesting. So we'll see. I'd be curious on how the crowd turns out this year. So all right, back to the list. We're at 1 o'clock. Marvel Rivals, that's a good one, actually, Kyle. That's a good take right there, my man. Marvel Rivals would have been a fantastic one. I just don't know. if they I mean, they would have to get them involved because of the private server situation, you know what I mean? But, um, I don't know how that would work, but that I'm sure if they would have put a little thought behind it, they probably could. Who knows? They might have tried. I don't know how they go about trying to get, the people involved within these things, so I'd be curious. Alright. The Curious GM rethinking collaborative storytelling. Things like this is always a really good thing to take a part of, especially if you're really into video games, because you kind of get people's perspective that are involved with development and publishing a video game. So it's always really good to be involved with something like this. I like randomly sitting in, and I might not sit in for the whole thing because I might not know everybody, but it's always a good time. A lot of teachers are involved with this one, it looks like. Uh, let's see. A lot of people can't imagine stepping into the role of a GM in a TTRGP, RPG. They've probably internalized the notion that they're not creative enough to disorganize, can't do dramatic voices, or would have known where to start. Truth is, there's more than one way to facilitate and lead a TTRPG. And this workshop will question the role of game master and explore the concept of collaborative storytelling through hands-on activities. Participates will explore different tools that can be used to create experiences that are more engaging for players, require less time to prepare and navigate the biggest barriers to leading TTRPG experiences. So awesome. So in case you didn't understand what that was, is there's tons of different RPGs other than D&D. And tabletop RPGs are used to be looked down at because you have to act, you have to do this. So there's just a lot of people just aren't willing to just jump in. And it's a very difficult thing, some people think, to jump in. Um I jumped in full dive, and I was shocked on how easy it was to put stuff together. I'm still intimidated. I haven't DM'd myself yet, and at some point in time, I'm gonna build up the courage to DM. But I just feel like I need to understand the game a lot more, and I've been doing it for a while, but not enough to be like, hey, I feel confident in doing it. But someday. So things like this is actually really good to take part in. So I'm gonna not say the same stuff over and over again, when it comes to the schedule. So, the Magic the Gathering, the Flesh and Blood, actually, that's the first time that came up, but Star Wars, stuff like that, things that are continuously coming up, I'm just gonna skip over them so you guys clearly see it on the list. So, the Apple II origins of today's game. So this is stuff like this is always interesting because this is like out of a left field. This is just somebody that had experience and background within something that is a small part of our history for gaming, but is a very critical part. So a lot of people don't understand, like, a lot of big gaming things came from Apple II. Contrail was a big part of my life. So, and really what got me into gaming, and I was so happy to be a part of, like, like my computer class, like that's what I was looking forward to. That Where in the World Was Coming San Diego, Number Munchers, things like that. So, um, it's just to see the storyline of what started that out of nothing is incredible. We'll never, get those type of stories again because the world is such a different place for games. So, uh, I would definitely suggest trying to check something like that out if you can. Uh, at 2 o'clock, PAX Triathlon, the console round is going to be going on. And then streaming for fun, really profit. So this is couple panelists here that will be talking about how to stream for fun and just give you tips on what they do and kind of what they have going on, uh, and kind of give you little tips on how to earn a little money while doing it. So fantastic. Um, so someone like me, someone like you that might be streaming, that's a good thing to join. So 2:30. Splatoon 3, Kyle, that's right up down your alley. Splatoon 3 tournament. Classic modern and indie RPG games. Pathfinder, Splendor, and then Dune Imperium. So those are all board games at 2:30. A lot of board games. I feel like there's not a whole lot of panels that are being showed on this year. It's a little weird. All right, 3 o'clock. D&D, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled tournament. On a roll, what makes a video game an RPG? Nowadays, genres terms can feel so meaningless that gamers don't trust a tag like RPG in a digital storefront to tell them anything about the game they're considering buying. But that doesn't mean we need to abandon the terms. Instead, we should take the opportunity to think more carefully about what we name, what they mean, and why we care about them. In the spirit, join the game analysts with a terrible fate as we debate just what makes a role. That sounds good. So it sounds like it's a pretty much a discussion on what makes an RPG. So those type of panels are always a good time because it just opens up your mind. One of the best things about video games is the ability to open your mind. And that's what the purpose of them are, is to get you to think outside the role of what you would normally, consider um the norm. And it gets you out of that vicious cycle and gets those creative juices flowing. And that's one of the things that I love about art in general. And it's not like that's why I love video games so much, is because I was a big art lover. And I think, video games is a beautiful art. It's an amazing art. Um sorry. See what else we got here. Sorry, just going through. All right. See, things keep moving on my screen, and I'm sorry. All right. We're at 3 o'clock. A cream tash. On a roll. Got RPGs again. RPG tabletop games. Tabletop game. Tabletop. Why does the line get drawn at marginalized groups in fantasy? Be very interested. What does and doesn't belong in fantasy settings has always been a hot topic, both at the table and online. Do guns belong in my high magic campaign? Can my artifactor invent magnets and use them to scale the metal golem and control it like in Ava? For the most part, the topics seem to be entertaining. However, people's tones sour when a game has characters or themes they deem as pondering pandering, or marginalized groups. Whether the story contained religious minorities, POC disabled individuals, indigenous peoples, or queer folk, we always seem to find ourselves as the topic of the day in fantasy, but for all the wrong reasons. Why are my marginalized fucking suck groups always group always the line in the sand for fantasy? Why are marginalized groups always the line in the sand for fantasy? Okay, so it just sounds like it's a discussion that B&B. I mean, I'm always open for tabletop, Kyle, always. And Munchkin, as you know, is a big fan favorite for us, but I have a box bag full, so I'll bring some and we'll definitely go over those. So always open. We just never usually do, but this PAX is gonna go back to old school PAX stuff. So I'm excited. All right, so it seems like this panel is really to discuss like, hey, why do these rules apply? Like, what makes you scared to break these rules? So that seems like a pretty good discussion. Key and Peele did a real funny skit where the guy was like, "Hey, I'm a pimp, and then I got hoes, and I go into the club, and the master, the D&D master, dungeon master, was like, no, this is stupid." But then everyone was kind of like, "No, I want to go to the club. I want to buy a bottle of Alizé," and it got out of control. But that's the point of being able to do that, is to be out of control. That's the time you can be out of control. It just sucks though when you're the D&D, you have this vision and you're like, this is the way I want the story to go. So it's a very tough conversation to sit there and have. So that's pretty much what that panel is to really talk about. Is to be like, hey, maybe we should break down our walls and try to explore and open up a little bit more, because that's what that is all about. So, all right. 3:30 cosplay armor, foam and 3D printing. So it's going to be a panel. They do it every year. It's just about cosplaying and best way to create your 3D printing stuff, how to use foam. So it gives you tips on how to be the most useful with your cosplay equipment. Let's just pull it up so that way you guys can see the names. So it looks like a 3 different people right there that are involved. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Fantasy, Great Western Trail, more board game stuff. Hmm, Okay. Ultimate Chicken Horse. Doesn't say there. Listen to my kids. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Tournament. Star Wars PTI Game Library presents tournament arc with little creatures. We already talked about that. Is that the one that we talked about? Yep, yep. Trains you how to play in a tournament. More board games. More. Just gonna double check. Yep. Earth is another board game. Board game. Board game. Meet real robots with bots in mass robotics. Oh, so that's probably gonna be ridiculous because if you guys don't know, um, we have some of the best robotic classes in states and I'm questioning the world. So there you go. I think that's a pretty cool thing that you can do at 4:30 to 5:30. So if you're into robots and mechanical stuff, that's a good thing to check out. 5 o'clock, almost there. Kinda. Uh, Azo board game. Super Smash Brother Ultimate, very immature bracket. Blood and Clock Tower, more board games, more board games. Mystery Tournament. Don't know what tournament it is. Don't know what it is. It's for consoles, so it's just a mystery tournament for consoles. Magic, State Attorney Investigations. Are there really only two rules of evidence in a criminal case, or is Phoenix Wright just lazy? This is right down your fucking alley, Kyle. So you might have to check this one out, buddy. Um, what time was that? 5 o'clock. State Attorney's Investigations. So, Exploding Kittens. If you have never fucking played Exploding Kittens, you have no idea what you're missing. Please check it out. It's such a fun game. Such a fun game. 5:30, Ticket to Ride. Another board game. Pokemon TCG, Alta TCG, Blood on the Clock Tower, Star Wars Unlimited, all board games. 6 o'clock. Pokemon Stadium. Oh, yes. Pokemon Stadium, Nintendo 64 tournament. Nice. Uh, the truly definitive ultimate Keyblade ranking. Imagine Keyblade, and again, everyone's favorite part of Kingdom Hearts is the insane Keyblades and characters wield, but which is the best? So, panel talking about Keyblades specifically. If that's your thing, fantastic. Pokemon cosplay meetup at 6 o'clock. That's always gonna be fun. It's probably an hour. Yep, 6 to 7 in the community room. Magic, The Wastelander's Guide to Commonwealth, the location of Fallout 4. Have you ever wanted to see the great green jewel herself breathe in the radiation of the glowing sea and maybe follow the Freedom Trail? But you're running short on time this weekend. We can help. We've assembled a comprehensive guide, Wastelanders approved for tourists, travelers, and soul survivors alike. Join us in exploring the real life iconic locations from Fallout 4, covering the city of Boston to the far reaches of the Commonwealth. We'll highlight the must-see locations and some lesser-known hidden gems. So just talking about the Boston area. Pretty cool. Flux, Flamecraft, Flesh, Two Rooms and a Broom, Asian AD&D. Okay, all board games. 7 o'clock, Yellow Taxi Goes Room. Look at this. PC game. Okay. Tabletop Community Game Swap. If there's one thing the board game community is enthusiastic about, it's buying, selling, and trading games. The PAX community is doing those very things via a virtual game market hosted on Board Games Geek. On Friday night, we'll keep the queue room and hall C open so that folks can meet up and make their long planned deals exchange a reality. So it gives you a little area to be able to trade those games. So that's pretty cool. Soul Calibur 6 tournament, Magic, 7:30 Point Salad, Dice Throne, Broken No Doubles, One Night, Ultimate Werewolf, Ultimate Werewolf again, D&D, RPGs, classic, pretty much the library, Starfinder, Devils Traveling and Feeling a Perspective on BG3, Baldur's Gate. So it's a Baldur's Gate discussion. So they're gonna talk about Baldur's Gate, Starfinder Society 2E Cosmic Birthday. So it looks like Starfinder community event. Devils Tiefling, the feelings and retrospective on Badlands. Oh yeah, we just did that one. Let's make a video game live on stage. This is really cool. So they've been doing this for years. And pretty much they talk about just the developing of the video game, and I guess what they do too. Everyone want to know what it's like to make a game. How about seeing it done live on stage? So pretty much, they develop a game in an hour. You guys talk about the topic real quick. They develop it. They make it happen, and boom, you get to see it. That's always the goal. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. For the Queen by Dungeons and Dragnon. So I think it's a drag queen thing. For the Queens live on stage, Dungeons and Dragnons is your local actual play series that takes the best of local New England drag, throws them in the best tabletop games, all while raising money for charity. Oh, that's pretty cool. We've established an all-star cast for PAX East, including Buster Pants, Juicy, Garland, Onyx Reams, and the Boston Sisters of Paternal Intelligence. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at reading shit. As we play our game, we'll also be introducing some fantastic charities that need our support. So pretty cool. I think you should definitely check that out. Critical Role Critter Meetup. So just everyone that's a fan of Critical Role, that's a meetup for them. 7:30. Maybe I'll be there for that. I'm a big Critical Role fan. So Friday Night Frenzy, Max 64. Yeah, so that's a game, board game. Elantro tournament, Blood on Clock Tower tournament, Mario Kart 64 tournament, more board games, Magic. Codenames, I want to say it's a game. Yep. Codenames is a board game. Friday night concert. Concert's awesome. I want to say it's in the main theater. Yep, main theater. The entire theater is just nothing but music. And I want to say it goes into midnight. Yep, 8:30 to 11. So, play some good music, video game music, stuff like that. Natural Six D&D live show. So the Natural Six crew will be broadcasting and doing a live D&D show. Hoop, very good board game, very quick board game. It's a fun board game. J Maji's Insane Mario Kart tournament. More board games. Blaze Blue tournament. D&D Learn to Play at 9:30, and the rest are just pretty much board game tournaments and just to kind of ended up Power Wash Simulator. A lot of people play that. That's definitely seems like fun. So, sweet. Well, that is Friday's schedule, and that is it for day 6. Did I say today is day 6? Check us out tomorrow, day 7. I do have a comic podcast I have to do, but then right after that, I will stream for a little bit. And I'll probably pick a couple of vendors that are gonna be there, and we'll go over that. Um, Talk about some of the vendors that are gonna be there and some of the games that they have and some of the games they'll show, and we'll kind of go through some of the games. So, that should be fun. So, but that is it for today. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this wonderful Sunday. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend, and I hope everyone's staying as stress-free as possible and trying to do the best they can in the world that we're living in today. So thank you guys all for joining the podcast, and I hope